Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Our next guest, this one is a tearjerker. And I'll tell you why. Maeen Ali, founder of Mercy Bakery, just like anybody else, lives in New York City, works for the New York state system, finds out his brother dies from Yemen. He's got orphan nieces and nephews, and he goes to help them. But in that journey, he realizes it's not only them who need help. And he gets this idea that all we need to do is serve bread. And if we serve bread, we defeat famine. And if we defeat famine, we defeat illnesses. And as he started his journey, just like anyone else, just like you perhaps, no one comes to help, but something changes. And he gives powerful tips on how you overcome that moment where you're faced with nothing other than your passion, your vision, your conviction, and a bunch of naysayers. He shares a powerful tip on how you go beyond that moment and you drive forward to sustainability. Right now, Maeen Ali, founder, Mercy Bakery. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you for being on the show today. Maeen Ali, founder and CEO of Mercy Bakery. Maeen, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Oh, first of all, I love the New York accent. I was born and raised in Florida, and you got that awesome Brooklyn accent. Thank you so much. Maeen, really, you are like many, mashallah, American Muslims from around the world background, and, living in New York City, you got a good job there, good family. But then all of a sudden, one day, you decide everyone in the world should have bread, and Mercy Bakery is born. What happened in that moment? What inspired you? What was that like?
Well, part of being a proud Yemeni American, living in America, alhamdulillah, with great opportunities. We migrated here with my parents and siblings in the 1990s. So alhamdulillah, we've been here in America quite a while, but we never forgot where we came from. We never forgot Yemen, the place, our birthplace. And as you guys know, Yemen is facing one of the world's worst humanitarian crises in the world.
Yeah.
So they were enduring 9 years of war, and it was just no solution to ending the war. So I know we couldn't do nothing about the politics, but we could do something about the humanitarian. Just hearing in the news, famine has destroyed the country. It is felt widespread. That's just the headline in the news. But then when you get a phone call, a personal phone call that your family member, your loved one, has passed because of the war. Now this becomes, you take this upon yourself and you say, this has affected my family, and the war and the devastation has on just one family. My brother, Allah yarhamah, passed away, left a wife and 5 kids. Imagine not having any kind of support. What could have happened to these kids if we don't step in and help out? So from, taking charge and saying, hey, looking at the situation more. I mean, you hear it in the news, and then you make your little donation to an organization, and then you say, inshallah, things will get better. But when you have the problem affected your family personally, now you're starting to figure out solutions for them. But at the same time, finding solutions for my family, I found out thousands and thousands and thousands of families are going through the same situation. It's like you feel a little guilty. Okay, alhamdulillah, your family's going to be taken care of. But what about your neighbors? What about the next person and the next person and the next person that doesn't have the support, doesn't have the family that are abroad working and having this great opportunity that we have, that we've been blessed, alhamdulillah, with? So part of it is sitting there just thinking about what is the best solution. And then a lot of organization, you know, went down the route of giving food basket. When you hear, okay, we're
Yeah.
going to giving food basket is great, then some of the food baskets are not getting in to where it needs to be. It was not effective because you have certain places where beneficiaries
Mm.
don't even have kitchen to cook the food basket. What they did is they wind up going to sell the food basket for ready food to eat that moment.
Mm. Yeah. So Maeen, as I'm thinking about, thank you first of all for sharing your story. As a Yemeni American who came in the '90s, and then now this situation, this humanitarian crisis emerges in Yemen, and it really hits me when I hear you say that it didn't impact as much until you lost a loved one and you lost your brother and the 5 children. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him Jannah and bring ease and to the family and support to the children as much as possible. What happens next? Like, you know, are you focused now on just helping and taking care of your brothers, your nieces and nephews, or how do you go from that to now, mashallah, serving warm bread and hot meals around the world? How does that jump take place?
Yeah, so alhamdulillah, I mean, we got together with a couple of, good friends of mine, and they saw the pain. They saw, and I said, we must do something. If you guys are on board, I want to open a bakery where it's open every day. Anyone that's hungry can at least get a piece of bread. I know how important in my culture bread is. I mean, I was born in Yemen, so if you missed one meal, the only thing is left is the bread and the tea. So at least you could relieve yourself with just bread and tea. So from going back as a childhood, remember that I said if I could just give one piece of bread, ready made. I mean, think about a mother that has to take care of sick children. She can't even get up and bake bread or anything. I want to be able to bake that piece of bread. She can just come and pick it up and just worry about the kids and not worry about the kitchen at that time. So that right there was, I mean, it had to be done. It had to be done. So not a lot of people supported me in the beginning. So everybody didn't like, oh, how much is it gonna cost? At the time, it was costing 3,500 a month. So that was really difficult. Not a lot of people supported. So I wound up getting a second job because if I'm gonna commit to something that you tell the people that you're gonna feed them and then wind up just telling them there's no more, it's gonna break my heart. Either you promise and you go all the way and you put your money on a line and say, I'm gonna do this regardless of anybody the community helps me or not. This bakery is gonna be open. So subhanallah, we we did the bakery, recorded everything. We had a fundraiser in the masjid. And I told my friends, I said, this is going to be the biggest donation of my life. I don't have to make donations anymore if the money doesn't come back. But alhamdulillah, we raised the entire amount. And then the bakery just opened up, and you see everybody sharing it on Facebook. It was just a great blessing just to see these kids running to the bakery. Because that's the first thing they run to the bakery early in the morning, and then they get their piece of bread with the cheese on. They put the cheese on it, and they head to school. Just seeing that, that's for a kid to run for food. We all have kids, and I can't get my kid to even finish his meal.
Yeah,
These kids were
I got the
lining
same
up.
problem. Yeah.
It's just amazing seeing them that this is free. I mean, we had one kid grab the bread and run the first day. And he's just looking back. He's like, nobody's chasing me for this. So
Oh man.
it was just so funny. Like the concept that didn't resonate. Like who's giving free food? Like it's unheard of.
Yeah.
Unheard of. Who does that? So lines and lines. When we first opened up, about 3,000 people showed up.
Wow.
How am I
3,000.
the guards had to come and get involved. Like, why all these people are here? And the only thing I could do with my little budget was at the time one bag of flour was producing 1,200 pieces of bread.
One bag, 1,200 pieces of bread.
Yes. So one bag. And wallahi, I'm not saying this just to tell you the story, but the guy that was making the dough, it says it's increasing. I don't know how. Wallahi. And I'm like,
SubhanAllah.
these are the signs. Like, that we're in the right direction.
We're in the right direction.
Wallahi. And then alhamdulillah, things got better and people started to seeing it on Facebook. They started taking it, a lot of organizations started looking at this like, oh wow, this is really great. Even we had the UN trucks were passing by the bakery. Like, who's doing this? I even had people from the UN get in contact with me, like, who can we come to your office? Can we collaborate? I said, this is just an initiative that we just started. We're not a big organization. We need support. So, like, really, you guys did all of this? So we had to figure something out. The famine was killing people. And one thing that you have to understand about the Yemeni people, they'll never beg. They'll never ask. They will stay inside, hungry for days. They will never come and ask, and they will never, uh, you know, they don't like, putting their hands out. And this is where we had a team of brothers and sisters to go and knock on doors and say, it's okay. You can have this piece of bread. You don't have to get on the lines if you don't want to. We will deliver the food so they can eat, so they don't have to wind up being famine state. Now they need medical. That's going to cost more money. So that's what I was trying to, to plead for the donors. Don't let these people get to the famine state because now the food is poisoned to them. No longer we can't help them after that. Now they need medical attention. So let's help them now. Let's open the bakery. Let's feed them. So a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a bread. There's nothing. Uh, at least something." And alhamdulillah, from all the help, support, the Mercy Kitchen was born.
Alhamdulillah. How do you go from, mashallah, that one bakery now to the kitchen, and today you have over 10 bakeries and kitchens and growing? I was looking at your website, and now you're providing warm bread, hot meals from the Philippines to Yemen to Colombia to New York City. Like, mashallah, how do you go from that one moment to all that and build the organization up?
Wallahi, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be more than that particular bakery, but the need was there, then the support was just so overwhelming. I said, SubhanAllah, this is the barakah that, this is a great idea that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you this is the way to feed people directly. Go ahead, the support is there. And alhamdulillah, it's just been a blessing even to be a part. You're the person changing people's lives. You're being, I don't know anything about nonprofit in the beginning, but all I had was a heart and willing to give back in a big way. Alhamdulillah, now we're here doing bigger things, not just Yemen, as you mentioned, other countries as well. Alhamdulillah.
One of the things that, and for the audience out here today, these are young, aspiring, leaders who are thinking about, solving a problem in the world, or thinking about starting their nonprofit, or they're in their nonprofit. One of the things that I've as a nonprofit expert and a professional about HRD is Mercy Bakery is your governance. Like, how did you what got you to the point where you were like, we need to make sure we have good governance in place, good policies, good procedures, solid board. Mashallah, when I look at your organization, Mercy Bakery, you have good governance, you have policy, you have strong financial systems. How did you go from just bread to now building proper infrastructure in the organization? Tell that story. What tips and advice would you share?
Well, just knowing that you believe in a cause, you believe in it so much, and if you've seen the result, so you know that piece of bread can go a long way, and your ideas that you put together, it's working. So you want to bring the best team to get this worldwide. It's a great concept, great idea. We focus on food security.
Yeah.
Let's protect it. Let's come together and make sure that you are compliant with all of your governance. And so that way you're not just there for 1 year, 2 years. You want to be there for the long run. When I leave this world, I want to be able to say I've left this in great hands and built even for the younger generation to come, and say, okay, somebody has laid the foundation, showed us what it means to really believe in something and go out there and do it. It's not going to be easy, but you got to work hard at it. Like anything else, you just got to have to work and believe in the cause. And, this is dunya and akhirah. So both worlds.
Thank you so much, Maeen, for being on the show today. Some of the key nuggets that you shared are profound. Number one, you said in your startup years, you have to believe in the mission, and you have to believe in it so much that you're willing to put skin in the game. You took a second job to keep it going. And that was, almost like the test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How committed are you to this sadaqah jariyah? And then the people came to support you, mashallah. And then you built the product on a niche product, bread and hot meals, warm bread, hot meals. And I loved how you shared that we wanted to get ahead of the problem, because making sure there's somebody who has bread and doing it in a dignified way, as Islam teaches us. And then next, the third tip that I heard you say was, you want to do it for the long run. This needs to live beyond you, the founder. And that's where good governance comes in. That's where sustainability comes in. And that's where a team comes in. Maeen, thank you so much for sharing all that amazing advice today. And we'd love to have you back on the show. And maybe we'll do some footage out in the field. I want to see how you do the work. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Tayyab.